Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the live Q&A session. How you doing, Howard? Keeping well? Can you hear me okay? I don't know. I think my mic's plugged in properly. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Howard. Keeping well. Just come back from snowboarding, actually. I was in Austria last week. So, yeah, recovering from snowboarding. It's only the second time that I've ever been, so I had a couple of big falls, but thankfully nothing major. But yeah, this is what we do these every week. Our greetings from sunny Portugal. Thanks for joining us back in Portugal. I wish I was in Portugal now, to be fair, because it is cold and rainy in Wales. But yeah, what we do these every week. That should be a wallpaper for Kadashi. Hello, Corpsey. Thanks everyone for joining. So I do these every week. Live Q&A sessions. I'm just going to post it in our free community, actually, just so that everybody knows this is going ahead. If you didn't know, I've got a free cybersecurity community. And it's hosted on School. It's got some home labs in there. You can come and chat with me and some of the other empirical team. We talk all things cybersecurity, all things anything really, but we've got some good home labs in there as well, which I recommend you go and have a look at. So if you want to have a look at it, it's just School, School with a K / cybersec. It's a free community. School with a K / Q plus A. Announcements. Yeah, I just made a post in our community there. Like I said, it's on School. If you want to join, then it's either in the description on YouTube or it's on our profile on Instagram. But yeah, what we do every week, do a bit of gaming, because I'm a bit of a gamer, but I actually don't have that much time now to play as much as I would like. We also do a Q&A session as well, so you can just ask me any questions. Or if you don't want to ask any questions, then you can just watch me be probably fairly bad at gaming. But yeah, like I was saying, CISA chief uploaded to AI. What do you mean by that, Howard? CISA chief uploaded to AI. Have you got any more details on that? What do you mean by that? Not sure if anybody has seen the those AI agents that have been creating their own social media accounts and trying to hide from humans. I think they were posting on the AI agent built social media to say that humans are talking about us on Twitter, which was pretty crazy. Corpsey, love your cyber content on Insta. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. If there's any type of content that you want to see, just let me know. Also on YouTube as well, if there's any content on there you'd want to see, just let me know. Drop me a message. Probably the best place to get me is in the School community. Just message me on there, and if there is any content you want to see, then just let me know. CISA chief uploaded sensitive documents to AI. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad, to be fair. I think that's one of the big things that's going to be happening quite a lot, is people uploading documents to tools like ChatGPT and just assuming that whatever they input in there is safe. But ultimately, if somebody gets access to your ChatGPT account, for example, then they're going to have access to all of the documents that you've uploaded if they haven't been deleted. So again, this is kind of one of the changes now that is one of the bigger changes we're seeing in cybersecurity, and what the expectation is now is to understand how attackers are compromising AI tools, but also understand how these AI tools are being integrated into day-to-day company life, for example. And I'm sure the CISA chief assumed that this AI tool was safe to use, and maybe it was, but if his credentials for that AI tool were compromised, then ultimately anybody would be able to access, anybody with those credentials would be able to access those sensitive documents. So you have to be very careful what you're uploading to these AI tools, because they might be good, but ultimately they're just another tool. And that's why I don't think cybersecurity, even though AI is a big change, I don't think it really changes what you need to know. I don't know if that makes sense. You still need to know the fundamentals. So how to secure these tools. Usually things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, all the kind of fundamentals will still exist, because all of these AI tools are just kind of been integrated into networks. So it's no different to other tools that we're trying to protect. Obviously, these tools can do a lot more sophisticated things, but ultimately, we still need to learn how to protect them, just as we do with any other tool that is on a network. Instagram's quiet today. Anybody got any questions for me? Ask me anything. Or just watch me game, to be fair. Depends what you... I have noticed that a lot of these AI tools like ChatGPT, Grok, kind of any AI kind of LLM chatbot, they definitely do make me probably a more efficient cybersecurity professional, I would say. I'm probably able to do a lot more during my day. But one thing I will say is that you do need to have the knowledge in the first place, because ultimately, it's kind of the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. And if you don't know what to ask, it's not just going to make you an expert. So that's why I still bark on about the fundamentals. Oh, Dens, well, how's it going, man? Well, it's been a while. I hope you're all good as well. How are things with you? How's the job going? Yeah, Gigo, garbage in, garbage out. Like ultimately, if you don't know how to prompt these, like if you don't know the information and you don't know what questions to ask, then using a tool like ChatGPT to become a cybersecurity expert is not going to work. How I see it is, it's better to become an expert without these tools, and then use these tools to make you more efficient. Which is what I'm seeing now. I use tools like ChatGPT every single day, different variations of it in my day-to-day job. It helps me with analysis. But again, I have to be very careful what I input. I don't put any company sensitive information in there. Even the kind of enterprise accounts, you still have to be very careful what you're inputting in there. So uploading sensitive documentations is something I still wouldn't do, because you don't know who could access that data. Let's say that somebody manages to compromise ChatGPT servers. Is there a chance they could access your information? I would say possibly. It all depends on the security that ChatGPT have in place. Like how are they doing that? How are they preventing somebody from compromising their servers from accessing my chats, for example? Because there's been a lot of evidence now, a lot of talks online and news articles saying that some of these chats have been leaked, for example. So you do have to be very careful. But what I really like ChatGPT for is help me as a teacher. So often, if I'm trying to, let's say I'm trying to use a new tool. So PDF ID, for example, is a tool that allows you to analyze PDFs. And what I'll do is say, step by step, teach me how to analyze a PDF using PDF ID, and just go one step at a time. And then it'll give me the commands to install the tool, how to run the tool, for example. I'll never put the PDF into ChatGPT. I'll use my own Kali VM or any kind of virtual machine. Use ChatGPT to teach me how to actually install the tool, use the tool, do the analysis of the PDF, or any file really. Maybe it's an executable file, because often it's hard to remember how to analyze different file types. And I can find something like ChatGPT really good to kind of remind me for that. Yeah, Denz, it's been a while. You're busy. Hope yeah, all is well. I was saying that I was snowboarding in Austria last week. It's only the second time I've been. I had two fairly big offs, but luckily nothing damaging. I was very fortunate because I've actually got one fairly dodgy. I damaged my cruciate ligament playing rugby when I was 16, 17. So that my left knee has never been the best. And I had a bit of an off that, well, was worrying on the right knee, but thankfully it was fine. Afsar from Instagram. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you? Anybody got any questions for me then? Don't know, it doesn't have to be cybersecurity related. Corpsey on YouTube. I'm aiming for a SOC level 1 position. What should I prioritize learning in just 1 month? So it's going to take you longer than 1 month, but I assume what you mean is what to prioritize right now. Is that probably a fair way to say it? Let me just stop sharing this for a sec. What I'll do is go through Canva. And I'll share. It's probably easier to go. So, Corpsey, what knowledge do you have at the moment? What you're currently doing for work? How would you rate your fundamentals in cybersecurity at the moment? Like, let me know what you're currently doing, and then I'll probably be able to kind of help you understand what to focus on. So I share my screen. Share. Can I share? Yeah. So I got to be careful of what I share. I don't want to be that cybersecurity expert sharing sensitive information. How do I? What I was talking about ChatGPT. So this is one way that I've used it before. So like this here shows me how to actually. I asked it to help me set up Teapot, which is a honeypot. I haven't actually done this yet, but this is what I ask it. So go step by step, only move on when I'm ready. I have a Kali Linux VM and I can access AWS. And then I'll go through like step by step, just go through it like this, and then I'll say, okay, I'm done, then move on to the next step. So I find it really good as a teacher like this, because this is the tool that I'm trying to set up. It's actually a video that I'm going to be creating. Apparently Teapot is a good honeypot. I'm doing a certification at the moment which mentioned it, so I'm going to try and set it up. Yeah, from what Denz is saying, it will take you longer than a month, but solid labs relating to SOC will help you understand the basics and fundamentals. Yeah. So, Corpsey, if you let me know where you currently are, what is it you currently know? Like how much of a beginner are you? Because it's going to take much longer than 1 month, but if we can get you started, because ultimately there's too much information out there, and that's one of the things I don't like about cybersecurity these days, is that there's so much information out there that it just makes everybody feel overwhelmed. And because of that, people tend to give up. But I'll share my screen now and I'll just go through some things that we talk through, some of the students that I've actually personally worked with. I already know some fundamentals, mostly on the offensive side, but not much on the defensive side. Currently, I'm a student. Nice, Corpus. Yeah, and what are you currently studying as a student? Let me share my screen, entire screen, this one. share. So I think you should be able to. So this is the pathway that I personally recommend people go down if they want to become a SOC analyst. So it's good that you've got some fundamentals already. Have a think about what your fundamentals in cybersecurity, not cybersecurity, and computer networking are like, because ultimately computer networking is going to be your foundation. In cybersecurity, we need to understand how to protect networks, but we can only understand how to protect them if we actually understand what networking is. And you don't need to be a complete expert. I'm nowhere near a networking expert. I don't set up networks on a daily basis. I don't do any kind of formal networking on a daily basis, but I do understand how networks work, how traffic flows, different ports, for example, different protocols, obviously at different types of IP addresses, and things like that. But a good way to start off is with something like the CompTIA Network Plus. Whereas then, you're doing a bachelor's in computer science in cybersecurity. Okay, nice. That's really cool. So I probably would still go down and have a look at CompTIA Network Plus. I'd be interested to know, have you covered much networking? Is your bachelor's in computer science covering much networking? Because if so, there's a chance that you could potentially skip these two. But yeah, see, that's the thing about the pathway. It can be quite difficult because it's all tailored to each person, which is why I talk about this pathway in videos. And if you've seen them on Instagram, I talk about them, but it's not always it's not always one size fits all, which is why you can jump on a call with me, for example, and we can tailor this to you. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description on YouTube, and then it'll be on the profile somewhere on Instagram as well. But ultimately, you may need to want to do CompTIA Network Plus and Security Plus just to have those certifications on your CV and resume, because companies are asking for that as a minimum at the moment. But your combination of, so potentially for you, I probably wouldn't bother doing the Network Plus exam. I would just look at the content, maybe do the labs, but then I would probably try and pass the CompTIA Security Plus exam and also do the labs. A lot of this you probably will have covered in your computer science bachelor's degree. So I think it'll probably be something that you might be able to do relatively quickly. But then once you've done your fundamentals, so it sounds like you're going to have some good solid fundamentals anyway, but I would still look at look at the content just to be sure. You might look at the CompTIA Network Plus content and be like, yeah, I understand most of this, I could just move on. Once you've done your fundamentals, which is important, you're picking a job role. It's good that you know that you want to become a cybersecurity analyst or SOC analyst. Now, I personally think that is the best role for most people to go into. It's personally where I started. And also the other reason is it's not completely entry level, because cybersecurity isn't really entry level. But I would say it's the more beginner friendly one. And then you want to focus on the skills related to that job role. So as I go through some of these skills, just have a think about, do I know these? So SIEM stands for Security Information Event Management Tool. It's a tool that all cybersecurity analysts are using. Understanding how AI and automation is integrated into Security Operations Center. Incident response. So understanding, I would say the main one is the SANS incident response plan. So understanding the steps that you need to take to prepare for an incident and what to do during an active incident, an active breach. Understanding cloud attacker defense. So you want to understand how attackers are attacking the cloud, how to defend against it. I'd be interested to know, is any of this covered in your bachelor's computer science and cybersecurity, Corpsey? Let me know, because I'm kind of just interested to see what they're teaching, to be honest, to make sure they're teaching the right things. Because the reasons that I recommend these things is because I'm a senior cybersecurity analyst now that focuses on instant response, and these are the things that I do on a daily basis, and I know that other cybersecurity analysts do as well. So that's the reason I recommend them. Attack types, so understanding your most common attack types, your phishing, your malware, your network-based attacks, for example, and then the defense techniques as well. detection rules. So this comes back to SIEM. So in the SIEM, you've got a set of detection rules that is looking for suspicious activity in the logs that are ingested into a SIEM. Let me share. Let's just share a screen for just give you a bit more insight into SIEM or SIM. Share. So you should be able to see that. So a SIEM, then imagine a network, and on that network you've got devices, servers, laptops, firewalls. Those logs are sent to a SIEM. SIEM stands for Security Information Event Management Tool. Elastic is a major one. Splunk is a major one. Microsoft Sentinel. These are ones that are usually used by a majority of companies. There are other providers out there, but to be honest, once you understand one, you'll understand them all. The logs are sent to Elastic. Elastic has a set of correlation rules or detection rules. They're the same thing. Then those detection rules are looking for malicious activity in these logs. If it detects malicious activity, it'll generate an alert to you as the analyst, and then it'll be up to you then to either close it out as a false positive, which means that the rule just fired incorrectly. And what you'll have to do then is try to improve this rule to make sure that it's only detected on malicious activity. Or if it is malicious, then you want to escalate it as a possible cyber attack and a possible incident. So this is kind of the main crux of what you will be doing as a cybersecurity analyst. And you might notice here where I've talked about automating repetitive SOC analyst tasks. So this was just from a slide from a video that I did showing how AI has been integrated into the kind of SOC analyst workflow. And Tyne, so this is a workflow automation tool, and this workflow automation tool allows you to automate certain parts of this process, which, if we come back to here, is what covers off these first two, so SIEM and AI and automation. So this is why I talk about it in my YouTube videos. So if I show you my channel videos, so yeah, I've got lots of different videos on here, but some of these are actual hands-on projects. So like this one, try this AI cybersecurity project, for example, cloud security project. A lot of the videos on here, the whole point of them is to give you the hands-on skills in each one of these areas, to try and actually help you get the experience that you actually need. And then so yeah, some other skills then. So threat intelligence, so understanding latest attacker techniques. The reason that we do that is because we always want to stay up to date. Attackers are always trying to improve. And you mentioned that you've got some offensive skills, so this will really help you understand how to think like an attacker. And if you can actually do that, then you're going to be a much better defender. Understanding threat hunting, understanding analysis tooling, and customer service as well is something that people often forget about, because the best companies to go for are usually the ones with the lower barrier of entry and managed security service companies. And they're companies that are usually doing security on behalf of other companies. And this means dealing with customers, which can sometimes be annoying. But it's a really good way to get experience, which is what I did. And then one final point on this then is that your home projects need to relate to each one of these areas. And that's why I post about all these home projects, not only in here, but also in our school community as well. So we've got a free Cyber Hub community by my company, Empirical Training. And what we do in here then is give you access to even more labs in here as well. And you can chat with me in here as well. If you were advising someone prepping for a SOC role, what would be the top 10 areas they should prioritize? Yeah, well, hopefully everything I just went through should reduce that down. Top 10 areas, so we could count them here then. So CompTIA Network plus 1, CompTIA Security plus 2, then SIEM 3, AI and automation 4, incident response 5, cloud attacker defense 6, attack types 7, defense techniques. 8, that's kind of covered in SEAM, so we'll leave that one. Threat intelligence and threat hunting, 9, and then analysis tooling, 10, customer service, 11. I guess that would answer your question. They're definitely the areas that I would focus on because, like I said, there is too much information out there at the moment. So I would just do those. Like these are going to set these will ultimately set you up for everything that you need to learn as a cybersecurity analyst. And you don't need to go into crazy detail into like each one of these. Understand it from a high level first, then start to do home projects because they're going to really help you understand each one of these skills, and then you're going to be able to go from there. But Corpsey, let me know if that makes sense. Instagram is very quiet tonight anyway. Just got a couple of lurkers in the background. Like I said, you can ask me anything on the stream, or if you want, you can just watch me gaming. I'm actually playing Ghost of, not Tsushima, that's the old one, Ghost of Yotai. But I wasn't playing much then, I was chatting. But hopefully Corpsey that will help you out. Where you're located as well, Corpsey, because we do offer, I do offer free mentorship calls. And we can just jump on, we can build a plan together. Then it can be up to you then if you actually want to work with me or not. But at least you'll have your own tailored plan to kind of go away with to see if, well, you'll know exactly what you want to do so you won't feel overwhelmed. But then you can also decide if you want to work with me as well or not. In the 2024, 2025, worked with, I think it's about 12, maybe more now, people who have helped land jobs without any experience. So if you want to do that, links in the description on YouTube, and then on Instagram is on the profile somewhere. Does Empirical Training plan on expanding from just blue team to other roles such as GRC, red team, and system admin? Yeah, Grumpy Guy for Life on Instagram. We definitely have the plan to do that. We just realized how hard it is to run a business, I'll be honest with you. So we're just focusing on blue team at the moment because blue team is what we know, and it's the scope of what we understand. Like all 4 of us started as blue teamers. We've kind of moved into different areas. I'm still the closest to the blue teamer role. The others, Vaughan, for example, he was a manager of a security operations center. He's now gone to being a senior analyst because he wanted to get back involved in the tech. And Robbie has also been a manager of a security operations center as well. But now he's looking to do more kind of sales in cybersecurity. So the reason that we picked blue teaming is because that's where we all started, and it is what we still all love now. But yeah, ultimately we'd love to move into GRC and red teaming. But the way that I see it and the way that we see it is because we aren't personally people who work in GRC or work as red teamers or work as system administrators. I'd feel, I don't know, not wrong, but trying to teach it myself if I haven't actually done it. I always want to be somebody that has done what I say and then be able to teach it. So like I've been in cybersecurity for 10 years, and it's probably only now that I feel comfortable being somebody that can provide this kind of mentorship. And I think if I tried to do it with only like 1 years of experience in cybersecurity, like, yeah, I would just basically be trying to scam people, I think, because I wouldn't be in the position to be able to help in any valuable way. But now I feel more, I feel like I can help, and it kind of proved it last year with the people that have helped get into cybersecurity without any experience. There's people like Georgina, Natasha, Bartos, even Dens as well. There's just it's proven now that what we do actually works, but the only reason it works is because we actually do what we say. which I don't know. I would like to think most people who talk about it on social media do what they say, but I also know that is definitely not the case. But yeah, one day we definitely want to expand it, and the idea would be to have like multiple different communities and potentially bring people in who actually um, work in those areas. I think that would be pretty cool one day if we had like a GRC community that was still under the empirical training umbrella, but we had brought somebody in who was an expert in that area, which would be cool. I want to build a home lab, but do not know where to start. Do you have anything you would like me to know? So, yeah, Victor de Victor on Instagram. I definitely would say it depends what job you want to get, because building a home lab, unless you just want to build a home lab for fun, but I know most people want to build a home lab to get experience to get a job. If it's to get experience to get a job, then what I would suggest is coming onto my YouTube channel, Andrew Cyber Jones, and I've got quite a few different projects in here. This one here, free cybersecurity home lab. This one, it depends on what lab you want to set up. To be honest, I would say the traditional SOC analyst one is probably, it's quite a way back somewhere, but I'll show you where it is. It's called One Free. There's another home lab. I think this is a cloud home lab. I definitely know it when I see it. Oh, it's this one free cybersecurity analyst project. So this is probably a more traditional setting up a SIEM. And so yeah, setting up a SIEM and installing an endpoint agent, trying to detect malicious activity. So trying to deploy malware and seeing that alert and then responded to it. This is quite a cool lab that you could set up at home. But yeah, I'd like to know, Victor, what kind of lab you want to set up. I've got a lot of different videos on here for labs, for example. Early police, how much is your mentorship? Exclamation mark. So I guess you're shouting, how much is your mentorship? It all depends, to be honest. It's all tailored towards each individual, because, like I said, everybody's plan is completely different. So if you are interested in seeing if my mentorship and empirical trainings mentorship works for you, go on the link in the description on YouTube, or go onto onto our Instagram profile and just click on the link. We can jump on a call and we can see if it's for you. I want to break into cybersecurity sector, especially in penetration testing, and I've been studying it for almost 6 months. So yeah, that's good going. I will say about penetration testing, it is one of the more harder job roles to land as without any experience, because there's so many people that want that job, but it's also quite a difficult job to get as a beginner. But it's not completely impossible. If you do want to go down that path, I think it's this video here, ethical hacking roadmap. But to be honest, I think it's based off this video, this article called Jack Hacks. So you can watch my video if you can just go straight here if you want to. And he's got this here. So you want to be a pen tester. This is a really good article about becoming a pen tester. Different things to learn: web app security, network security. Like, I break a lot of this down in the video, but like I said, it's based on this guy's article. I mentioned that in the video as well. This is a really good thing, and it helps you understand what to learn. But like I said, pen testing jobs, they're not as common as the kind of your more blue team style jobs. So I would always keep that in mind. But yeah, it's good going that you've been doing it for 6 months. Don't be disheartened if it takes a little bit longer. It is definitely possible, but I will say that it's just a little bit harder. So just keep that in mind. I'm in India, done masters in IT, and currently working as an administrator for almost 2 years. How can I get a job in the UK? I don't know too much about visas and things like that. We get a lot of questions about visas and things like that. Usually sponsorship, I don't know what your eligibility is for working in the UK. Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's not really my area of expertise. But I would say if you are good enough and you can get in front of a company, then potentially they could sponsor you. Corpsey, I was focusing a lot on Wireshark and Burp Suite. Are they good for SOC role, or are they mostly for defensive security? Yeah, so it's good that you know Wireshark and Burp Suite. I would say that they don't get used as much in the kind of defensive SOC analyst role, but maybe Wireshark a little bit more than Burp Suite. But it depends, because in a security operations center, you do have application security teams, and they often will be testing web applications using tools like Burp Suite. Wireshark, you don't often tend to use Wireshark, but they say that you might be given a packet capture and you might be asked to analyze it. Like, not many security operation centers are really doing this because of this. Like, peak packet captures do generate large amounts of data, so it doesn't often get used that much. But understanding Wireshark and Burp Suite is still good. But yeah, I would say they're probably not used as much in the security operation centers that I've worked in anyway. The main things you're going to be wanting to learn is like endpoint security. So getting familiar with something like CrowdStrike, CrowdStrike Falcon. I think I've got a video on here. This one here, try this endpoint security project. So CrowdStrike. So getting experience with any type of endpoint security tool will be good. Where I mentioned SIEM, so Elastic SIEM. Like I said, this is a really good one to get hands-on experience with, because a lot of companies are using it. But they've also got Elastic SIEM rules, is it? Oh, the pre-built rule reference. So understanding queries like SIEM queries is really good. So if we go in here, so this is a pre-built use case, which is saying that a scheduled task was created, indicates the creation of a scheduled task using the Windows event logs. Adversaries or hackers can use it to establish persistence or move laterally and escalate privileges. So the good thing about this is going to tell you exactly how to triage it and how to analyze it. So they say that this alert is triggered. You're going to understand how to actually analyze it. But also, it's got this. So this is the actual SIEM query. Elastic's, do they call it KQL? I actually can't remember. I don't use Elastic that much. I think it's whatever the name of their query language is called. I've forgotten. I want to know now. Elastic SIEM query language. Oh yeah, they use a few different ones. Kibana, KQL, and they also use EQL as well. That doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. But ultimately, what you're trying to understand is how to create these queries. Creating your own rules is a really good one, but also just running these against logs. Because this is a big thing that you're going to be doing as a cybersecurity analyst. You're going to be having to either create these queries or run them in a SIEM solution like Elastic to try and detect malicious activity. So this is really good because it shows you how to investigate it. Because ultimately, each alert that's fired, you will usually follow a similar pattern for your analysis, but you'll always be looking out for different things. And this is also considered like a playbook as well. So when you're in a company and they say this alert fires and you've never seen it before, being able to read playbooks is a huge thing, because like I said, most analysis you'll follow a similar pattern, but there's always going to be different caveats and different things that you might have to do depending on the ultimate whatever the security use case is. So this is really good. The reason why I'm asking Grumpy Guy for Life, coming back to you, is I started in GRC. I've been doing it for 5 years. I've been seeing a huge increase in standards, especially ISO. I've learned a lot about the different areas of cybersecurity. Okay, nice. Yeah, well, if it'd be cool to kind of link up. I don't know if you were interested in going into kind of cybersecurity mentoring, for example, for GRC, because we get a lot of questions for people wanting to get into GRC. I'd have to speak with the team to see how we could actually help you build that out, but we wouldn't be against using our platform to host a GRC course. I'll have to speak with the team, but if that is something that you're interested in, the best thing to do is to jump onto school with a K / cybersec and just message me directly to see what ideas you've got, because yeah, that could be a really cool thing if that's what you're getting at, because we do get a lot of questions about people wanting to get into GRC. David, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing your experience. Corpsey, you're also most welcome. Do you guys also give an internship? We do. So our mentorship academy, we call it apprenticeship. Apprenticeship, internship is the same, basically the same thing, and it actually allows you to actually put experience on your resume and on your CV to say that you've actually worked with us. Let me see if I can show you this. Oh yes, this one. Share. I appreciate all the questions, but it hasn't given me much time to game. But never mind. I prefer helping you guys anyway. Can you see that? So this is what your LinkedIn would look like after working with us. So you've got empirical training apprenticeship. You'll have this to show what you've done. You can also put this on your resume, your CV. We provide endorsements. So we'll personally write a recommendation. Also, you'll get this volunteering community contributor as well. And we also do referrals as well. So we can only do this if there's positions available. We always have to say that, but we do, and we have referred people to companies that we actually work for if there's positions available. So I hope that answers your question about our internship. That's all the questions we got for now. So we'll do some more gaming. But yeah, some good questions. Really good questions there, actually. But I'm interested to know, what jobs do most of you want? Because we always get people asking to be ethical hackers. We always get a few people wanting to be cybersecurity analysts, but it's usually that's the one that we have to recommend because of its more entry level nature compared to other jobs. And I tried to grab a stat of ChatGPT for like US and UK based cybersecurity jobs, and it is the role of a cybersecurity analyst that has the most job postings as well. So that's another reason that that I tend to recommend it. If you're looking to go into engineering, there is also DevSecOps. I don't know anything about that. Compliance, that'd be more GRC. But if you wanted to be more kind of the technical cybersecurity professional, then I definitely would start with a blue team cybersecurity analyst, and then maybe move into something like cloud security. You're welcome, AYDNK on Instagram. Appreciate the questions as you're appreciating the answers. Can you actually hear the game? Actually, wondering what it's like. So I really see it upgraded my internet as well because it was laggy before. I have my own ritual of sorts. I like to make a fire. Breathe. Yes, we can hear. Thanks, Corpsey. It's like being pinned to that tree. And how I didn't die. Because I freed myself.
That grip around your neck.
How much is the apprenticeship? It, like I said, what we do is we tailor everything to your needs. So often it is tailored to your circumstances. So if you are interested in chatting more about the apprenticeship, go to the link on the description or in our page or in the community, and we can kind of jump on a call and see if it's something that you still want to do. And then we can talk about price after that. But I feel like there's no point talking about the price unless you're sure that it's for you. And like I said, we can tailor it to your needs as well. Because we're empirical training, so my company is partners with CompTIA, so we can give discounts on different certifications. We can like help build you a package, because some people might not need the CompTIA training. So it does all depend on different factors. The Tale of Oni.
We should expect more guards this time.
I only hope the Oni didn't punish the Matsumai prisoners after our previous attempt.
He needs them to rebuild Saito's castle. Over there. We can use that rock to go ashore.
I don't see any
Bad security in this castle anyway, having a gaping hole in the side.
telling the truth.
His information's been good so far.
But yeah, this is a Q&A and gaming session. I'm trying to do these every week. I was away last week. But the idea is then, we just jump on, have a chat, and watch me game. Well, you don't even have to have a chat if you don't want to be honest. You could just watch me.
That's a long way out.
The screen seems quite dark.
Any idea there's a mine hidden beneath his feet?
If he did, he'd find a way to exploit it.
The amount of lumber and metal and blood he stripped from this land. I wonder if Ishikari plane will ever recover.
It'll be scarred.
Yeah, I do these 8 till 9 every Monday. So
Sprouting leaves.
if you missed it this week, then you can catch me next week as well. And sometimes the other boys, so empirical training is made up of 4 of us. And we've all got different backgrounds, but we used to work together. That's how we all met. But sometimes you'll see the other boys doing these as well. But usually it's going to be me.
An old campfire.
Goros.
Seems likely. Look, generator oil.
And a torch. Nice of him to leave behind something useful. I'll light the way. Or you could slip.
I'm not so clumsy.
This place does have a smell to it.
Musty. Like wet clothes.
Is anyone else an avid gamer playing any good games that you might recommend I can play after this?
Look there.
I know that new James Bond game is coming out in March, so that'll probably be next on my list.
Come on. I can see an exit.
It's a tight squeeze.
Keep moving forward. We're almost there.
Yeah, ask me anything. It doesn't have to be cybersecurity related either if you don't want it to be, but my background is cybersecurity. It's something that I love, but if you've got any other questions for me, let me know.
Veins of ore. I'll never forget the first time Father created steel from a hole in the ground. It was like magic.
In another life, I might have followed in his footsteps.
You still could.
It's too late for that.
You might not always have to be this on your
Instagram's quiet tonight.
Well, we now know where the smell's coming from.
Rotten bamboo. It won't hold our weight.
Over here. I'll boost you up. How did Matt Gordon get through here?
Probably fell on his ass. Then his face. Or the other way around. I'll find you another way.
Where do I have to go from here then? Oh.
I think I see a weak point.
Ask me anything. Got any questions? Ask them away. So this is my cybersecurity Q&A. Plus gaming as well, because I don't get much time to do it. So it's quite an easy thing to do if you don't have any questions, and you can just watch me do this. There's something I missed.
If I break this, it'll pull you up.
After gaining experience in SOC for a year or so, which career path would you recommend? I pursue cloud security or pen testing. Like, I'm equally interested in both. So, yeah, that's a good question. So, I guess it depends what you like. So, once you get into a security operations center, you'll often be working with cloud security teams. You might even be working with pen testers as well. If it's a good security operations center, a lot of security operations centers do just hire third-party consultant penetration testers. But what I'm getting at here is hopefully that you'll be able to have the chance to work alongside both teams and see which one you prefer. And then you can actually speak with those teams to see if they've got any job openings and things like that. Cloud security probably will have more job openings in a typical security operations center. But if it's a good security operations center, you'd hopefully have a red team there as well who are constantly testing the blue team, rather than having third-party consultants doing it. But which one would I recommend? It's hard, really, because once you've got the experience in cybersecurity, it's kind of up to you then. It's kind of your choice, which is the nice thing. If you wanted to do something that's completely different, probably pen testing. Because in the security operations center, as a SOC analyst, you do need to understand cloud security. You'll be analyzing, for example, AWS logs, responding to AWS alerts. But in cloud security, then you're probably going to be more doing the kind of configuration of securing cloud infrastructure. So being an expert in securing AWS. So I guess it is slightly different to SOC, but maybe a bit more closely related. If you want to do something completely different, but still have some of your security operations center skills used, so you can be a really good blue teamer and then become a really good red teamer, so that you understand both sides. So maybe penetration testing. Again, I probably still think there's going to be more cloud security jobs than penetration testing jobs. But yeah, that's a hard one for me to answer, Corpsey, because I guess it depends what you want to do most. I will say that penetration testing isn't really, I haven't done it, but people that have done it, they always say that it's not always what it seems. People think that you're just going to be hacking all day, but it's not always that. There's a lot of report writing. There's a lot of just like testing to find vulnerabilities and kind of maybe daily doing things that you never actually find any vulnerabilities to or find any answers to, because you're constantly just trying to abuse application or make a web application or some software do what it's not intended to do. And it's not that easy to find vulnerabilities like that. So yeah, if that answers your question, I'd probably just think about what you what you want to do the most. But once you get that experience in a security operations center, it's often easier then to be able to go into different job roles because you've got the experience. And the good thing about a security operations center is that you get the exposure to different teams.
You could eat too much salmon.
It's muscle. Come on, this way.
Because a good security operations center doesn't just have cybersecurity analysts. Like it can't really. It needs all the other teams to work together. Maybe you want to become a threat intelligence analyst, for example, or a full-time threat hunter. Often these things are part of the SOC analyst role, but then you can kind of diverse further. Maybe you want to go into forensics. There's a lot of different job areas. You might even want to jump straight to GRC. And often I do find that people who have been security operations center analysts are often better in these different job roles. So GRC, for example, once you understand like how companies are actually performing the defensive measures, I think it can make you a much better GRC analyst because you understand what is actually being protected and you understand how it's actually being protected as well. Which is why I like blue teaming so much, but I'm obviously a little bit biased because it's something that I've been doing for the last 10 years. But I have been working closely with red teamers. Purple teaming is another thing that I've been doing. Working with the red teamers, so blue team versus the red team, and the ultimate goal to defend the company and constantly make sure that the company's staying up to date with the latest attack techniques. But yeah, so I've coming up to 9 p.m. UK actually. So I appreciate everyone answering and asking all of these questions. Like I said, I do these every single week at 8 p.m. UK, live on YouTube, live on Instagram as well. Best place to get in contact with me though is my school community, and that's school with a K/cybersec. You can jump in there. You can actually message me anytime. I'm pretty active in there whenever you need me. But like I said, thanks to everybody for joining. Corpsey, shout out to you. Hope to see you next week and in the community because you've asked some really good questions. Hope it's going to be really helpful. But yeah, thanks to everyone that's joined. Take care. Speak to you soon.